Hey guys, just wanted to check in. State of the Union is about to start soon. I just wanted to say that I continue to pray for peace. I have there's a few ways reality could go, and let's face it, it's not up to me or a pundit. It's just whatever happens will happen factually. So one of a couple could. So I keep focusing on what is true in the moment and trying to de-escalate, because what I see has me a little encouraged. And I don't like inflammatory about it, please, because I understand however we feel about this President Putin's gripe. I was very happy to see that whatever I think of the leaders of the world, the French one, I was very glad to see Macron, called him, said rightly, and he said rightly too, and he believes the result will be that is good. We don't leave people alone to fend for the way. That is good, because what the Ukrainians need right now is not weapons, it's not anything but peace and ceasefire and coming to some kind of an accord, right? And what is also true about it, and they want President Putin to take the bait, because then if that narrative is true, right, and they use Ukraine as a, almost like a martyr, or like a rallying cry, or like sacrificial lambs, right, who cannot win no matter how many tank busters you give them. That's just more of their Russian brethren that they gotta blow up and make angry before they come in, and really then they're mad. When right now what I see is a guy in the middle of the road, an old man, brave, honorable, standing in the way of a big Russian tank. And then I see honorable. They don't shoot him and run him over like Nazis. They gently pull him out of the way and go slow. That's different. That's pulling punch. That's not he's so frustrated he can't get I understand they're both fighting bravely, but they are at Putin's mercy, and he seems to understand that, actually. He says, that 40 mile long, we've got all the people to do it in the world, that he is messaging very clearly. That convoy has not moved in 2 days, actually. And they're doing peace talks. And I assure you, I pray for peace on a number of reasons, most importantly for Russia and Ukraine, who in the long run cannot endure without being friends and at peace with each other, but really everything's fine. So that narrative, that if that reality came to pass, because it's saying evacuate from these 2 buildings in Kyiv because I am going to blow them to smithereens and I don't want anyone hurt, is not immoral. And thank God the Go F Yourself community from the Ukraine, they called him a liar when Putin said, no, they're alive. And sure enough, God willing, they are alive. They took them prisoner. They didn't do that. Thank God. Now, I understand in the war and there's young people and whatever, I understand. But that's what I'm saying. That narrative, that reality, when you actually came to hey, wait a minute. No. I went in with a scalpel, intentionally pulled punches, and took out what I needed to, went slow, the best I could, and didn't do that. And then we had peace. Because, my God, that narrative is far more valuable to you and your country, sir, in the short and long run, than anything militarily you might accomplish with the big high death count battles and all this stuff that has not yet come to pass, despite, horrors of battle. And so I do understand that, and I do understand good faith requires good faith. And no one seems to know about Goofball Club over here. No, really, there was something with Ukraine and the DNC servers, and if you're so nuts, Why did the Obama-Biden administration with Hillary at the helm sell you most of our uranium? So that doesn't make sense. And but if it comes to pass that narrative where you didn't, wait a minute, I had peace. I showed them how it's done when you have a mighty, you are responsible for them, particularly when it's friends. So then thank God she was dumb enough to like sell you, because yeah, you know what I mean? It's either one or the other, and you are in complete control of that decision, sir. And so I just try to pray for peace and guide. And I mean, our country's got its own problems. I'm going to hear the State of Union any minute now. And like, who the heck knows, you know, like, what could he say? I mean, I hope he doesn't answer. But then all those truths, the sanctions would have to go away. Everything we know, wait a minute. History bears out that there was peace, and it wasn't that, it was this, just like I was saying. Okay? And so you can't, like, you know, the minute you even depose that person, please try not, Mr. President Zelensky, please, like, peace, willing to yield, and peace. You don't need to joining the EU right now. First of all, that's not possible, same as NATO, and that's very inflammatory. So please be willing to yield on that one, and understand that the world will not leave Ukraine orphan or totally at the behest of just what Putin like wants. That's not it. We want to be friends here. There are nuts like in all the countries like lying all the time while smiling. I do understand that, but I say that's domestic, and we really got to get rid of that, like, you know, cult mentality with the tech and the crap, you know, like, but they do strange things. They are mean. So, but our country doesn't talk about like cult fight club. And I'm pretty sure most of the globe don't either. But yet all the ways these creeps are around and they're like mafia about it. I don't know. So I do like pray that we come to an understanding that there was peace between them. And that way the warmongers can't script that. China's salivating right now because after like the Ukraine thing, I mean, what's Taiwan? I mean, that like they'll distract while like, I mean, wait a minute. Everybody is not thinking right. And when the Chinese are not thinking right and the Americans are not thinking right, if the Russians are not thinking right, that's a problem for all three of those countries, let alone the rest of them. I guarantee it, sir. So I just continue to pray for peace and de-escalation and looking at reality. So I do understand, like, however unappealing this war is to our people, which it is, like, let it be that I do stand with Ukraine. If you're actually going to invade and shoot a lot of it, it can't be helped. One has to agree. And even right now, I mean, that's I just pray for wisdom for all sides here, and that we can come to a quick peace, because the Ukrainians need food and peace and the knowledge that they can come right back and they're not refugees for years and years and years, and all that they are terrified of. It would be okay if they're terrified for like 10 minutes or 10 days and then it wasn't that. Don't worry. And they can come right back and not be scared again, because there's peace between Russia and Ukraine. And they're going to work together to do things a little bit, but like cooperate. And then you can respect, there's honor enough on all the sides. You can cry it out together peacefully. And then that way, like they can't do anything. But if that narrative is far more valuable, that if that were true for you, then that would be what is true historically for everyone. They would have to note it. And they can't all the ways, like I guarantee you, domestically and internationally, they are trying. They are hoping you try it. There would be a mistake, because the sanctions would be more than justified. And then like you understand, there'd be pressure to like, well, about them. You know, you could drag this into unnecessary eyes. What, like, don't give them any opportunity for that. Because no. We want, wait a minute. I showed them how I didn't do that. I did not do that. I wasn't planning to do that. I just made it clear, don't try it with the like raise my level of like nuclear, but that's a lot different than like, hey, wait a minute. You are in complete control of that, sir. And the Lord is peace, and I know he wants peace, so I will always just pray for peace. And it even makes sense because that truth is more valuable than anything else to both countries, let alone ours or anyone's, because it affects us all. So please, please consider it. I appreciate you did the talks. I was thrilled when President Zelensky first suggested them and you were amenable to them. And I continue to pray that that works out. And please be a little willing to yield right now on that issue with neutrality or whatever, because that is a big sticking point for President Putin for a long time. So we will not leave you alone no matter what, or the Ukrainian people, but we would way rather not leave you alone like peacefully while we like come and hang out and can travel right to Russia or vice versa, because there is complete peace and understanding between them. Even if it cannot be helped, certain ones will feel a certain type of way for a little while. Perhaps cooler heads definitely always prevail. Love will conquer. And yes, no war, please. I completely agree. I don't like what the media does in this country with anything, let alone something like this. All the ways, all the little Build-A-Bear clubs are just getting ready to script it, so we don't need that. We don't care about them. Insignificant, not in charge of nothing, but yet they're schemers. All these lunatics are abound, I tell you. And whatever it is, please don't take the bait, sir. I pray for you, and I thank you that the convoy at last check hasn't much moved in 2 days. And I was appreciative of how you announced what buildings you were going to blow up in Kiev. And I understand you cannot announce your plans as to where you're going to strike next, because it is, I understand it. I can only continue to pray. You know what you're doing. And there will be peace soon. And you control that, because Zelensky will be all ears for peace. I assure you, he doesn't want his people. We don't want them to die. He does not wish for them to die. And I'm willing to bet, the soldiers of Russia don't wish for them to die, and neither do you. And I continue to put my faith in that. In good faith, signing off and wishing everybody well. And, as far as domestic policy, I'm not even going to. We're all at the behest of you right now, Mr. Putin. The world does watch with bated breath. And unfortunately, just too many of them want to, No. We want peace. They'd be calling for a ceasefire, and nothing but a ceasefire and peace, and reach accords, please. Peace is what they would push for, instead of It just seems to me, God bless. We know the ball is in your court, and one is just praying that you use wisdom and understand favor with the Most High. That's going to be peace. I guarantee it. All right. God bless everyone, and have a very nice night. Bye.